What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. All right, so you guys know the whole Charmaine Obaid-Chinoy controversy has been running rampant all over the internet for the last couple of days. And I stumbled upon a couple of clips that I wanted to address when it comes to this topic. Now, first things first, we all know that, the Screen Rants and the directs and all of the trade media, they're going to come out there and they are going to come to bat for Charmaine Obaid-Chinoy. You can see on this headline, Rey's next Star Wars movie has already become controversial for the most absurd reason. Rey's new Jedi Order movie is already receiving criticism from specific facets of the Star Wars fan. I wonder who they're talking about. I wonder who it could be. For the most overwhelmingly absurd of reasons. Now, look, let me start off with this, okay? The new Rey film, that was getting criticism off Jump Street, all right? Off the word go, right off rip. We were criticizing that joint the moment we heard about it because nobody likes this character. Nobody likes Rey. So a Rey movie, period, is going to get criticism. It has nothing to do with Charmaine. Charmaine is like, whatever, man, we'll get to Charmaine. But why are we doing a story about Rey? Why is this character being brought back to Star Wars? Nobody likes this character, guys. The piles of unbought toys sitting on the shelves, just getting discounted all the way down to 99 cents. Does that not tell you something? Man, nobody really likes this character. Nobody's buying her action figures. Nobody's buying her lightsaber. Nobody cares about this character. That's the problem. But look, we gave this character 3 films. You had 3 films to get it right, okay? You had 3 opportunities of Rey sitting at the bat. And she struck out. Look, get her out of here. Go. Get another female character in here. She is a terrible character, regardless of whether she's a woman or anything. She is a terrible character. Look, this little ad don't even want to see her face. She's a terrible character. Get her out of here. Find somebody else to make a movie about. This character sucks. That's the bottom line. But then you add to the fact that Charmaine jumped into the fray. And I remember just sitting up there looking at, because I was at Celebration, and I was like,
James Mangold, Dave Filoni, and Charmaine Obaid-Chinoy.
Who the hell is this chick? Like, I was sitting there like, okay, I can see if you trying to force feed this thing, if you got to have a female director, you know what? It's going to be somebody that already paid some dues, get Deborah Chow's going to get the next one. All right, man, Deborah, she getting the next one, or Bryce Dallas Howard, BDH. All right, we giving BDH the next one. All right, because she paid her dues. She's been making episodes. She's been around. I mean, she's, freaking daughter of Ron Howard. She's been a part of the Lucasfilm family for a while. You know what? She's getting the next crack at the bat. Okay, we giving her a Star Wars movie. She's already directed a few episodes, or you could have gave it to Debbie Chow. You could have gave it to either one of these cats. Who the hell is this chick? That's why I was like, wait a minute. She just gets to bypass them two? I know if I was Bryce Dallas Howard and Debbie Chow, I'd be hotter than fish grease. Wait, you mean to tell me that this chick gets to jump over us and be the first female director? What the hell is that all about? But see, I'm going to tell y'all why it is, okay? Because just like with Kevin Feige over there, we're going to have Chloe Zhao come out here and direct The Eternals. Why? Oh, she won an Academy Award. That's what these idiots in Hollywood care about. Paying dues, caring about the lore and the franchise, been a member of the family for the entire, like Bryce Dallas Howard, been a part of the family for Lucasfilm forever and a day. Oh, no. Academy Awards, that's what matters. So they bypassed 2. I mean, I find that hilarious. Now, look, I personally don't think you should hire anybody on the basis of sex, on the basis of color or gender affiliations, sexual preference, none of that. None of that should go into the hiring process. Here's what should go into the hiring process. What's your idea for the story? Sit down, pitch me your story. Let me hear it. All right, I heard you. Next, bring in the next person, and you just filter all of these different stories, and you get to the best person. But that's the problem. These people, they care about identity. So Charmaine Obaid-Chinoy, the director of the Star Wars New Jedi Order, has raised criticisms that she is disregarding past female workers in the Star Wars franchise. She kind of did. You know, maybe she didn't intend to, but she did. Obey Chinoy's comments instead referred to her as the first woman of color to direct a Star Wars feature film, meaning the criticisms against her are entirely ridiculous as they are taken out of context. Obey Chinoy's qualifications and past experience, including directing the best, most emotional episode of Marvel Studios' Ms. Marvel, make her an excellent choice to helm Star Wars New Jedi Order. Yeah, that's what we should be looking at. She directed one episode. Yeah, give it to her. Like I said, I feel like you need to be a part of Star Wars for a minute, at least for a minute. Now, I know that hasn't been done with previous, directors, but that's previous directors. We're talking about right now. Star Wars is all the way off the rails. You want to bring this thing back, right the ship? You got to bring in people that know what they're talking about. Let's hear your pitch. Let's see what it is. All right, so this is one of the clips that I wanted to bring to y'all attention. This is obviously Kathleen Kennedy. She is talking at the Most Powerful Women Summit back in 2015, put on by Fortune magazine. And this part of the interview, they are discussing, female directors, how she wants to have a female director over at Star Wars, how important it is. Let's go ahead and listen.
I feel it is going to happen. We are going to hire a woman who's going to direct a Star Wars movie. I have no doubt. On the other hand, I want to make sure that we put somebody in that position who's set up for success. Mm-hmm. It's not just a token job to look out and try to find a woman that we could put into a position of directing Star Wars.
Oh, but it is, Kathleen. That's exactly what it is, okay? That's exactly what you did here. You found a token, okay, a quote-unquote woman of color, and you just shoved her into this position. She had no experience at all, okay, doing anything like this. Like, with the exception of the best, most emotional episode of Ms. Marvel. That's her claim to fame, All right, now that I got that Ms. Marvel under my belt, all right, now I can go and direct a $300 million movie. Think about that, the logic, okay? Now that I got this one episode of a show nobody watched, nobody cared about, okay? Now that I got one episode out of the way, give me that $300 million budget. Yeah, I mean, look, it's going to be a train wreck regardless of how much, look, it's going to be a train wreck regardless of how much experience this chick got. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, this movie shouldn't even be made at this point. And Kathleen is just destroying the franchise brick by brick.
And it is interesting because I have a huge number of men who call me constantly and tell me how much of a Star Wars fan they are and how much they want to get involved in anything to do with Star Wars. I don't have a lot of women who call and have those conversations with me.
So go hire those men. Hire those men to make the next Star Wars movie. The guys lined up around the corner, calling you, banging your line. Yo, I got a Star Wars script, man. You got to read this, Yeah, we know she rejected Zack Snyder's pitch. But I mean, you have real hardcore fans that love Star Wars, and they've been throwing hey, Kathleen, let's do this. No, we're going to go with an unpopular character that nobody likes, nobody cares about. Everybody has rejected this character completely 1,000%. We're going to go with her. And then I'm going to find the most feminist director I can find on the face of the earth to come out here and direct this. A woman that has said out of her own mouth, I like to make men uncomfortable. That's the person that I want making my Star Wars film. Unbelievable. All right, so here we got clip number 2. All right, this is Charmaine Obaid-Chinoy. She's doing this interview at the World Economic Forum. Listen to her discuss privilege, how she likes to play the quote unquote woman card. Listen to this part.
Said, I've tried everything. But what amazes me, Charmaine, is the way your approach is and your demeanor, considering that, you have to go back home and combat much more than I do, because you've been much braver than I have.
No, I think my greatest asset, to be honest, is that I'm a woman. I mean, many women that come from our part of the world think that it's a disadvantage. I've always thought that being a woman is my greatest asset. I mean, I really can get away with doing a lot of things in Pakistan, getting into places and getting out because I'm a woman.
But you don't play that card, do you?
Of course I play the woman
you
card.
do?
Hell yes!
I wanted to hear that.
I mean, you're a South Asian woman, you've got
Of
to play
course.
the woman card. There's a long line of men
Drag.
standing. Stand
That's-
to the front of the line. How can I stand if there's 100 people standing in line? No. When you can play the woman card,
will.
you play the woman card, the damsel in distress. I mean, don't I look like a damsel in distress?
Yeah, see, she want to play the damsel in distress card. She want to play the woman card. And that's what's going on here, okay? They're playing the woman card with Star Wars. Oh, we got to get this woman. She's like she just said, why am I standing behind 100 men, that have had their scripts out? Kathleen, can you make mine? Oh, gosh, Kathleen, I've been a Star Wars fan my whole life. Here, make my Star Wars script. Banging her line constantly, trying to get a Star Wars script made. You got Bryce Dallas Howard and Deborah Chow, who've already put in some work, already paid some dues, to Lucasfilm. I mean, whether you like their work or not is another story, but at least they were there. But no, Kathleen finds the most feminist activist shit she can find, and this is who's getting the next Star Wars film. And I wonder why this thing is going to fail. Because you got this dummy, oh yeah, I just jumped to the head of the line. I played a woman card. I played it perfectly. I wouldn't be surprised if this chick could reach out to Kathleen. I mean, I would not be surprised about this. But at the end of the day, here's the problem. This film is going to fail. It's going to fail miserably, all right? I'm all the way here for this failure. But it's going to fail because they're not paying attention to characters. They're not paying attention to story. They're not paying attention to the lore and the mythology, all the stuff we was talking about on yesterday's video. They're not paying attention to that stuff. Why? Because they care about playing the woman card. We got to elevate women. We got to put women at the top. Let's bypass all of these other filmmakers, all of these guys that have been banging Kathleen Kennedy's line. Let's just bypass all of them guys. Forget Bryce Dallas Howard and Deborah Chow, who've already paid dues to the studio. Nope, let's just bypass all of them and get the most feminist, dyed-in-the-wolves feminist activist director we can find. Bypassing cats that have loved Star Wars their entire life. And people probably were inspired by Star Wars. As a matter of fact, you guys remember this? The Godzilla -1 director, Takashi Yamazaki, he wants to make a Star Wars film. All right. This is exactly the kind of director that you need to make Star Wars. And look where this guy got his inspiration from. He says, I watched Star Wars, and that's how I ended up being a filmmaker. I'm really hoping I will get a call and they will bring me on Star Wars. I think a more Japanese or even just Eastern take on Star Wars would be really, really interesting. So I hope they call me up. Look, I don't know if an Eastern take or a Japanese take would be more interesting than, regular Star Wars or what we would consider Star Wars. It sure as hell would be a lot more interesting than this damn Rey movie. And at least this guy has a passion for the film. This is what made him a filmmaker. The fact that he watched Star Wars. He probably was like a young kid coming up, watched Star Wars, got inspired, got excited, said, man, this is what I want to do. I want to make films. That's exactly the kind of people that you want making Star Wars films. People who are filmmakers, all right, even if they're from another country. Filmmakers that love the franchise and have a passion for it, a deep-rooted passion. All of the people that been passed, Kathleen Kennedy has been passing up. I don't know Zack Snyder if his actual Star Wars idea would have been the exact same as Rebel Moon, all right? Maybe he would have had to make some changes, whatever, who knows? But I guarantee you that even Rebel Moon is going to be better than this stupid Rey movie. Again, you got to have stuff made by people that care. That's the main thing. If you don't care about the franchise that you're making the content for, and you're just doing it because, I'm bypassing all of these other people. It's about time we had a woman up in here. If that's what's driving your ambition and not actually just, hey, man, I love this franchise and I just got a great story in mind. I think it'll be amazing. I think other Star Wars fans will just fall in love with this story, just like I believe I love this story. I just want to bring this story to the world, and I'm just passionate about it. And that's it. If that's not what's driving you to make a Star Wars film, you shouldn't be around Star Wars. You should be nowhere around it, okay? You should be nowhere around this franchise. You just sit at home and watch it like everybody else. You have no business being a part of this. If you do not have a burning desire in your heart to tell the best Star Wars movie that you could possibly tell, get away from this franchise. And that goes for Kathleen Kennedy, man, because she clearly doesn't care about this franchise. It just sickens me, man. But anyway, folks, you know what? I've made 3 videos about this. It's probably going to be my last one. But you guys let me know what you think about this whole situation. I'm just disgusted with this whole mess, you know? Part of me says that this movie isn't even going to be made, but who knows, man? Again, this is Hollywood, baby. It's Kathleen Kennedy. It's Lucasfilm. They've absolutely destroyed what George Lucas built. And I just can't be more disgusted. But you guys let me know what you think. Jump down in the comments. Give me your thoughts and opinions on that. And thanks for watching. See you next time.